der zentralen Position, muss Schwanzer unter Vorsicht, dann ist es Fernkampf, das ist ein Knappkampf, Tor! Tor! Für die Frankfurter Eintracht, 5:1, herrlich!
Welcome to the German Fussball podcast and to our very first Legends edition with, you guessed it, a legend that is Rune Bratseth. And before I welcome you, Rune, I have to lay down some facts because Rune is regarded as one of the best Norwegian players of all time, won the German Cup twice, won the German title twice, first Norwegian to win a European club competition, and is just generally a legend. So, welcome to the Legends edition, Rune Bratseth.
Thank you very much. I appreciate to be here.
And Marcus, you know, I've known Rune like for 100 years,
yeah.
But when we in this podcast wanted to have legends, we want to speak to the legends of German football, we had to start with Rune. Not only, and you said it, he is said as being the best player of all Norwegians ever. And you may say, yeah, but what about Erling Haaland? What about Solskjaer? What about winning Champions League? But Rune Bratseth, we're talking over the whole career. Mm-hmm. And like you said, in winning so many trophies, and also the status that Rune is having in the German Bundesliga is unbelievable. Yeah. They call him the Elch, Moose. And Franz Beckenbauer, the fantastic Franz Beckenbauer, once said if Rune was a German, he would have been my libero in the national team of Germany. So, I mean, only that give you the reason. And after he retired, Sir Alex Ferguson called him and said, listen, my friend, could you play for us for a while? You know who called me after I retired? Gursken in 6th division. So there's a big difference.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant. Yes, that was nice, yes.
I was looking at some of the personal accolades as well, and I have to actually look at my phone for this, but I see Foreigner of the Year in 87, 88, Libero of the Year, because there was Libero in 88, Team of the Year, 87, 88, 88, 89, Team of the Week, 34 times.
Wow.
And then you have being named Norwegian Player of the Year, 91, 92, and 94, which is incidentally the year you retired. So I guess where I want to start with you, because when I do my research, you and Dad work together in Champions League, always been around, but I came across how you were seen, because you started your professional career very late. You started at 22 right. And you played 4th division. And then there was this church competition where you got kind of scouted by Rosenborg.
That's right. The son of the legendary coach Nils Arne Eggen came and was a referee for that game, the final in this church competition, as you said. And after that, they invited me to have a training with Rosenborg, and I took part. I don't know really, about a week or so. And then they phoned me back and gave me the possibility to play in the U team, the youth team. Mm-hmm. And I said no, I'm 21 at that stage, and no, that's of not any interest for me. So then another week went, and then they called back and they told me, okay, we have changed our minds. You can come to the A squad. And then I said, yes, thank you. And then I started to play with Rosenborg. So it's a curious and special way to come into professional football. Although Rosenborg was not a professional team at that time. Where I studied to be a teacher, and most of the players, they were having a normal job. So professional was first with when I joined Werder Bremen.
And the funny thing is, Rune is couple of 3 years older than me, so we didn't play at the youth national team together, and like you saying, he was playing for the church team or in the 4th division. So I didn't hear a lot about Rune Bratseth, because I came into I also came late. I thought I came late because I came in when I was 16, 17, and some of the players came in when I was 14, 15. So the first time I heard about Rune Bratseth was actually his teammate was a guy called Trond Solli, who was later, he was a good player and also a good coach, being abroad in Belgium and so on. So Åge Hareide, to make this, I saw an interview with Åge Hareide, and Åge Hareide, who has now been a fantastic coach over many, many years, he said when Trond Solli said, I have to play for Norway instead of Åge Hareide, and Åge Hareide said he should shut up, more or less, because he's not even the best centre half at Rosenborg. And Åge Hareide saw that very early, the potential of Rune Bratseth.
Incredible. But you come from 4th division and you are Nidelv, right? And then you're at Rosenborg, right. You win a league title. But going from 4th division to Rosenborg, and then also when you take the step from Rosenborg to Werder Bremen, it seems like you took the level pretty quick, which isn't that natural. I wonder how that happened.
It's a bit to luck because you see, physically, with a lot of speed, and I was also good in the air. Not technically not special at all, but also I think I had this to be calm, to read a game was also one of my strengths. But most of all, it was the physical part of it. I could cope with anybody when it was about speed and yeah. So that is very important in football to have the speed, and if you have that,
yeah, we don't know what that is though.
No, we in this household, speed. Okay, we'll Google that afterwards. But Rune, yes, he had the physical thing. But I will also say the mental part of it, because Rune was that kind of player. He didn't care if he played a European Cup final or he played for Nidelv. He had the same attitude, or I would say in a funny way, lack of attitude, because he just went out there and did his stuff. And I think that, Rune, was also one of your strengths, that you were always there, you were always present, didn't matter who you played.
That's in a way, that's right, because I wasn't so nervous. I was nervous before the game as anybody else playing important games. You had to be, but entering the pitch, it was gone. Right. And I think it's really important in our position, Marcus.
Yes.
to be phlegmatic and calm. That's very, very important. Not to make penalties, you see, And that is also important for the rest of the team, that the guys behind are, as I said, calm.
Right. Yeah, I saw an anecdote because I'm sharpening up on my German, and I saw Andreas Herzog in an Austrian dialect, so it was a bit tougher for me to understand. But he was explaining how one of the first games you were there, and this guy was through on goal, and he's like, okay, that's I guess that's the goal. And out of nowhere, he said, and then out of nowhere, Rune comes like a gazelle almost and picks him up. So it was pretty funny hearing those anecdotes. And I guess on that topic with Werder Bremen, how for our audience, how would you describe first Werder Bremen as a club, for like in terms of their philosophy and kind of their DNA?
Yeah, it's the most important thing. I think it's the family atmosphere. Yeah, it's a very nice people there. It's always been. You see, they're not always winning, not always doing well, but they always had this good spirit. The players playing there, they all say the same. They feel at home. And so it was also for me to come home to Bremen. I had a good time in Rosenborg, but coming to Bremen, you see the manager, the coach, everybody has been there for a long, long time, and it's something special. And you had to live with the pressure, but that's more easier when you feel at home, and also your colleagues. I've heard when I came to Germany, it's very tough. It's very tough to be there, because it's a struggle for your position. They don't want any good for you, but that was not true. And they received me in a perfect way, and I had a super time there. All my children are born in in Bremen. That's my second hometown. Kind out about that. So that was important for me to come to a good club with good people. Otto Rehhagel, Willy Lemke, and all the players, all the stuff around the team. Very nice people.
And I think, Rune, not only did you come to a family club, you also came to a club with a father figure in Otto Rehhagel. Otto Rehhagel, who not only had success in Werder Bremen, he did the same. He went up with Kaiserslautern, winning the league the first year. He's winning the Euros with Greece. An unbelievable character. Try you, as one of his closest, to describe this legendary football coach.
I think something is about the same thing, making a good atmosphere and being a leader without any stress, because he had this authority. It didn't have to prove anything.
No.
And you believed in him, and that the players had a good time with him. But he was also a tough guy, but always fair, treating the people in a fair way. So that was very important. Certainly, you have to know everything about football. But a lot of people said he's playing in an old style, but he had success. So you have met him, Jan Åge, and not a few months ago.
Yeah.
And he's you can feel it that he's got something special.
I must say, because you're talking about this visit, because Rune said to me, we were together in Dortmund, and Rune said, on the way, Otto Rehhagel is living with his influential, must say, Beate, his wife. He's now 82, 83 years of age. And I still get goosebumps for that I was able to be there, because first of all, the respect between Rune and Beate and Otto was amazing to witness. I am just a guy that have been able to see him a couple of 3 times. But for me as well, and I am not even a player who played it for him, I nearly get tears in my eyes, because this man had a natural respect. When you see him, you can understand, Rune, that you wanted to fight for this man.
Yeah, certainly. It's the way they received new players, not only the player, but it was so important for him to know about the family. He liked that the players were married. And also about the children and everything. He cared about our life outside the football. So that's also an important thing, I think. And it's a lot of coaches knowing everything about football, but it's a lack of character and those things that is very difficult to describe. You got it or you don't have it.
You've interviewed, and you guys have worked with the Champions League, and you've interviewed a lot of some of the probably the best coaches in the world. Lately Klopp, but Sir Alex Ferguson. You've come across a lot of managers at your time as well. And you mentioned it's something they either got or they don't. Is there some kind of similarities across the board of the most legendary coaches that you guys kind of recognize?
Certainly. When you mentioned those names, I had them in my head now.
Right.
Because because it's not enough to know the science and everything, nice words about football. That's important, that you are into the game and you know everything about it. But it's not the most important part. You have to build a team. You have to deal with the people. And that's you got to have something special. And all those coaches with real success, they are different, and that's also important that they are different, because they are themselves. They don't try to play anybody else to be a bad copy of another coaches. That won't function. So to be themselves and to be real and honest and nice guys. Not always nice when it's the fire is on, but that's also a part of it.
There is a reklame, advert in Germany who always said, "Nicht immer, aber immer öfter." Not always, but more and more often. And I think that is for the coaches. The good thing about Otto Rehhagel is, of course, also, Rune, that you said it, that he is kind of branded as a old-fashioned coach, but still. I mean, he said that to me, and he said it probably to 1,000 other people. But he said that modern football for me is to win football games, and I think that kind of sum up Otto Rehhagel, doesn't it?
They played modern, but they lost 3-0.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's great. I mean, we have so much we could discuss. I kind of want to just touch upon something that connects to both of you as well.
No, I have to stop before you go there, because Rune. Because you see,
it will be about.
This is very short.
Go for it.
Marcus is sitting with a East Germany DDR shirt, and maybe that is the entrance to the wonder. Tell us about the miracles that you always did in Bremen, also with the East German team.
Yeah, so it was a very important game. As always, we played European Cup and in Bremen, and Bunde von Weser. That was something, a miracle in Weser, the river flowing outside our stadium. It was something that everybody knew about. And also we played against Dynamo Berlin, the champion in East Germany. So it was really a tough game. So, but we lost in East Berlin, but won at home as normal, Wunder from Weser. So it was something really special to play against East Germany. And also I look at his jersey there, and I got the same one at home. My boys like to wear that. It's very nice.
Yeah, we are the fashionistas now of our friend group, because we're coming with all these very authentic vintage jerseys. Also, obviously, you got this from playing on the national team together, and you enjoyed a hugely successful period. Rune, you were captain for Werder Bremen during the first half of the 90s, but also Norway, captain to a World Cup, won a group ahead of Netherlands and England. It was unprecedented, and we are hopeful that we have another era in front of us now, but it's hard to replicate what you guys done. But what I've never actually asked you either, Dad, is you guys were twice earned yourself the spot on number 2 in the FIFA ranking, correct?
Yes.
Twice you were.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah. So, right. So incredible achievements. And then you go into the World Cup and you go out of the group stages, all teams on 4 points. And you guys go out on goal difference. Despite all those performances, which is unparalleled in Norwegian football, do you ever think, what if, in terms of going further in the World Cup? I just thought about that when I was doing the research.
Rune can start because then I can say the last minutes against Ireland.
Yeah. It was terrible not to go to the second half, or to the
knockout
next stage. The next stage, it was really hard, and Jan Åge know the history about that, because I didn't know the result in the other game, so I thought it was on the way to get to the next stage, and but it wasn't like that. So I was really angry after the game, and it would have been a superb experience if we had come further, but. That's the way it was, and I think I thought a lot about this tournament afterwards. Now making the movie about it with the coach Drillo, because I think I didn't think about it, but it's one important thing. Most of the players, they didn't have any experience at all, so it was too big for many of them. I played my last game there in the World Championship. So I played the European Cup final and a lot of 4 times in Berlin in the cup final. So, but I thought everybody was calm and had a good time. But I think a lot of players used a lot of energy outside the pitch. So that's certainly one of the reasons we didn't make it.
It's interesting to also say that when Norway qualified in 1994, that was the first time Norway qualified since 1938. So, first of all, you had no Henry Tippen Johansen, the goalkeeper, or Jørgen Juve or Arne Brustad sitting in TV saying that everything that we used to do was better, like we are now, because that is also a bit pressure for this generation. But Rune is right. Not only did the players not have the experience, but neither did the people around the team. So when we went to the World Cup, Norwegians, we are a very proud people, sometimes too proud, because if I was a manager of the Norwegian national team in the 90s, I would have just gone to Germany and said, listen, you've been to all World Cups more or less. What do you do? But we wanted to invent ourselves. And maybe we did some stupid thing, but Rune is also right that it's also down to the players, because we during the days over there, it was like you're talking about the heat wave now. I mean, the heat wave there was in Washington, New York. This is winter. Yeah. And what did we do? We organized a tennis tournament in the middle of the day. And so we had a third session. But Rune was right. At the end, Rune, I played the first 2 games against Mexico and Italy, and I was on the bench against Ireland. And we needed to win at the end. And I was a striker. I played against the British players, the Irish players. I wanted to get on. But so I on the bench, I was waving Rune forward. So I said to Rune, go forward, because we needed a goal. Yeah. But then the doctor told me, shh, don't say anything, because the strategy from Drillo at that time was that he thought it was more likely another goal in the other game. And whoever scored, he would have scored. So I must say, Rune, because it's a funny story, I won't take long. And then we had this telephone on the bench. We had special telephones, and this telephone was just supposed to call when there was a game in the other games, a goal in the other games. So 1 minute before the end, we hear the telephone, there is a goal. We are in the next round. And then there was a guy calling if we want water on the other side of the pitch. And Rune, when I told Rune this story after the game, and he heard he was out, Rune, you were furious.
Yeah. It was, terrible.
You don't want to talk about it.
Oh, is that possible?
We move on. We move on. If we go, then we will have this recurring segment where we're going to have your Dream 11 towards the end. But before we go into that, I want to ask a bit about Werder Bremen. Yeah. They are back in the Bundesliga, and Werder Bremen is one of the most successful Bundesliga clubs behind Bayern and Dortmund, and only been relegated twice, last in 1980, I believe. So where is Werder Bremen headed right now? What's the status with the club, and what can we hope for them ahead of this season?
I'm very excited about they coming back to the Bundesliga now, and I hope it's going to turn out good for the team. But and they had to struggle not to go down again, I think. But because they don't have much money, they haven't the possibility to buy a lot of good players. But I think they have a very clever and good coach, Ole Werner. Did a tremendous job to get them up to the Bundesliga again. And I think they have to depend on the team spirit, and that is something special to be in Bremen, as I spoken about. And that can save a team like Bremen, because they don't have the money to compete against the first 5-6 teams. That's going to be too hard, but I think they could do well with this good coach, and I hope they get a good start, because that's very important for the self-confidence. So I believe they will make it to stay in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it could be a necessary kind of rebuild after having gone down for any club. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I think that Werder Bremen had more or less for some time the same problem as Manchester United or Rosenborg. They have a great era. They have great coaches, Sir Alex Ferguson, Otto Rehhagel, Nils Arne Eggen. And then it takes time to find yourself. Werder Bremen, to be fair to them, they had it with Thomas Schaaf when he came back as a former pupil and did well for them. But they have had an identity problem, because half of the club will think that we are as good as we were in the 90s when Rune was there, the end of the 80s. And the next see, well, we have to go forward, but how do we do that? And Rune, it's also fair to say that Werder Bremen, there's not a lot of money involved in Bremen. It's not like a business kind of city, is it? Although it's a sea place, but it's not a.
Yeah, that's right. They're not able to compete against the big teams, so that's a problem. And as you said, they had success. They had the money, and then the costs were really high, and then you don't qualify for Europe anymore. And then you have to start to sell players instead of buy good ones. And
yeah,
a lot of teams experience the same, you see.
Yeah, because there's some great players. They had Özil, they had Mertesacker. I think in the 2006 World Cup when Germany hosted, it was Bayern had most players, and then it was Werder Bremen had most players in the German squad. So then in some ways you become a victim of your success, and then if it doesn't go so well, you sell players, and then you say, well, we have to replace it to maintain our success, and then that doesn't work.
Yeah,
and then
it's not easy. And so Diego, Johan Miko, Kevin De Bruyne also played in Bremen. Gnabry was in Bremen. So they had a lot of good players also under Schaaf and Klaus Allofs as a sport director. They did a very good job. But after that, it went in the wrong direction.
I must say, Marcus, I know you wanted to start with Rune doing his dream.
I'm very excited to hear about that.
Yes. His Dream 11. I think we will have to do it in 4-4-2. So because I want to always have two strikers there, but we'll see what Rune will do. But I just want to say, if people listening to this and they're talking about the big German clubs, we're talking about going to Dortmund because of the yellow wall. We're going to Munich. We are going to somewhere, but to go to Werder Bremen, it's so a great atmosphere. It's so a great place to go to a football game. They are all as nice as Rune. I mean, yeah, but you are a mirror of your culture somehow. The players are there. The culture is still there from those days. And I must say because Rune, he will know that he has to put himself in this Dream 11. But when I played with Rune, we were roommates in the national team. And I would just say that when Rune, there was a game we played against Turkey. And on the day of the game, there was a big headline in the Norwegian paper. I was supposed to play that game. I was be the number 9. I've been fighting with Göran Sørloth for the place. And Rune saw maybe in my face that I was a bit nervous. So then he just looked at me over his nose in the paper and said, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "Maybe a bit." And he said, "Stop it." And that was Rune, and that was his leadership. And Rune, I have to give you, I mean, there is a lot of definition of great captains, but Rune was a captain that had all the skills, more than one skill, because he wasn't role model on the pitch, role model outside the pitch, and also leading by example, by his values. So I think that this time we've had it was a great start with a proper German football legend.
Yeah, can't get much better than that.
No.
But Rune, I want to hear your Dream 11 now.
Yes.
I'm very curious. And we'll go with a 4-4-2.
4-4-2. Okay.
I will write.
Well, he wants a 4-4-2. I think you should decide.
Yeah. What system would you want, Rune?
I think 3 at the back.
3 at the back.
Yeah, and let's start with the goalkeeper. I think Erik Thorstvedt from the national team was a very important player at that time. You know, Jan Åge, with some with you also, some players with experience was very important. A lot of young players coming into the team. So for me also as the captain in front of him, it was very important to have a good goalkeeper behind me. So
I just want to say, Rune, that we're talking about his dream team for players he have played with. So this is Norway, Rosenborg, and Werder Bremen. Nidelv, if he has any player of Nidelv, I will be surprised, but it's his player he played
with. Yes. You see, I have done this before, but I can't remember really. VG, a big paper in Norway, made something about me, and I had a team. I tried to remember what that was, but I remember the defense because it was very important for me. Okay, I shall play. I play in the middle. Yep. I take my position there in the middle, and I play together with Bruno Petzai.
Oh.
As I came to Werder Bremen, he was a very good player, one of the best in the Bundesliga, the captain of Austria, the national team. And he was a very nice guy. Received me in a very good way, and it was a dream to play along his side. So I learned a lot from him. He played a libero, in every way a nice guy. He died around 40 years old, heart attack, I believe. So that was very sad, but an important player for me, arriving in Bremen and one of the stars taking care of you.
May I say, Rune, because I put in some fun facts for you, because Bruno Petzey, when I started my career in Rapid Vienna, he was playing in Tyrol. So I played against Bruno Petzey, and Rune, he was some kind of player like you, Rune, because he had this kind of presence on the pitch, didn't he?
Yes, he was technically better than me. I had a very good left leg, and wasn't that fast, but could read the game, and was also good in the air, made a lot of goals, and most important part, as you say, his authority at the field was, you could feel it. So he was very important. I play in the middle, and on the right side, I take Knut Torbjørn Eggen.
Mm.
I played with him in Rosenborg without as he was a referee when I played this church tournament. It wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he was important for me as I came to Rosenborg, because he's also a very nice guy, the son of Nils Arne. And we studied together, we were coaches together, and he passed away, and it was a very tragic end of his life. So, but he was a nice guy, a good friend and a good player, and I'd like to have him together with me and Bruno Petzey behind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take 5 at the middle midfield, and it's going to be really offensive, because I take Marco Bode on the left and Winston Roofer at the right. Offensive middle players. So
Winston Roofer was a Kiwi. He was from New Zealand, and Marco Bode has been a leader in Werder Bremen for some years after his career as well.
And he played the World Cup final in 2002 for Germany, and was babysitter for my children.
More importantly, yes.
Very important. And we still are in contact. He had a birthday 2 days ago. So we have not a lot with each other, but yeah.
Brilliant.
And then
start of the team.
Yes.
What a team he has started. We have 6 players, 5 players left.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I guess it's going to be hard for him now.
Yes, I take a Rosenborg player again. It's Sverre Brandhaug. Was a very good player, but more a club player. In the national team, he couldn't make a really career, but he was a very good player. So he deserved that. He is an important player for the club's history. And scoring a lot of goals from his central midfield position, and had a very good eye for other players, and a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
Could have reached more, I think.
Mm-hmm. And some fun fact on him as well, but I can't prove this. But because I played against Sverre Brandhaug, and as Rune said, he was a fantastic player. Also in that system, Nils Arne Eggen played, because he was kind of the Drepunkt. He was the guy who would get every ball, play it out to the wingers. But I swear to God that he played with sunglasses. But nobody will support me on that. That he played with glasses, who get in the sun, he went into sunglasses. Rune, give me yes.
Yeah, it could be, yes.
What do you mean, in training or game?
No, he played in football games. He played with glasses.
Yeah, but either they see it or no.
Yeah, but he had. Did you know the glasses I have when I read and with the sun?
Yeah.
He played with glasses. But okay, that is a fun fact.
Yeah, we'll have to get that confirmed.
Not often. Often, I don't think so.
Okay.
And then we need another player from Austria, and you know him very well.
Yes.
The Alpen Maradona. That is Andy Herzog.
Mm.
Very skillful midfield player with a perfect left leg and scoring goals and a lot of assists. One of the best players playing in Werder Bremen, and he went to Bayern Munich and been in football since as a coach together with Jürgen Klinsmann and other teams. So yeah, very good player.
Yeah, I remember you've spoken very well of him.
Yes, so me and Andy, we played in 3 years in Rapid Vienna, and then he went to Werder Bremen. I always say that without me scoring on his passes, Otto Rehhagel would never discover him. But he said the opposite, that I should have scored more goals. But I agree with Rune. Fantastic left foot. And one of the best players. Maybe when he went to Bayern, he didn't have the mentality at that time, because there was this thing with Oliver Kahn and they were fighting and all that kind. But then he came back to Werder Bremen and had a great career. Okay, we need one more midfielder, or are you going 3-5-2?
Yes, I think 3-5-2. So you need another midfield player, but I'm a bit. I think it's we have to take Myggen.
Oh, Myggen, you have to explain, because all that played with Erik Mykland, and now where you say there is a film about our national team in the 90s. And I think all of us will say that the best of the lot, character, type of player, his look, he was the most popular player in our team, Rune.
Yes, that's right. Bohem and doing not only the nice part of the game, he's working really hard and winning a lot of balls. Although he was a very small player and not fast, but he had a good eye for it, and defensively good, and also what he could do with the ball, and a good eye for the game. So a very good player for Norway.
Yeah. And now I'm getting ready now, because now we're coming to the strikers, and you know, Rune has played with me, and okay, Rune, take your strikers. Okay, I'm ready.
I think you had a better chance.
Okay,
that's why he was asking, do you want another midfielder? Because he was hoping for a 3-4-3, so we have 3 options. Now it's only 2.
As he played in a midfield, he could have a better chance. That's right.
Okay, your strikers.
I think I have to. You have mentioned one of them already, Rudy Feller. He was in Bremen as I arrived 87. We played together only for half a year, and then he went to Rome. And he wanted me to come to Rome. We played against Rome in the summer of '88. We played. It was a part of the deal. We should play against Rome, with the Bremen Rome, and we played 2-2 in Rome. I made both goals. I don't think that was the reason they were interested. But I could have moved then because I had an offer moving to Rome. But I hated the heat. You see, I never loved playing.
That is Rune. That is Rune in one sentence.
Yeah, the family was doing very good and feeling well in Bremen. No. So I said no to Rome, but Rudy was there, and he had a great career in Rome, and afterwards in Marseille, also scoring in the Champions League. No, he didn't score here. Basile Boli scored a goal. It was 1-0. But he was one of the team, yes.
Because this is a time when I followed Rune. I was in Austria. I was in Germany. And when he had the offer from Rome, and Rune is a Christian, he is a believer. He talked a lot about God. And they said that Judas Iscariot, he took 30 silver coins from the Romans, but Rune didn't want to take millions from the Romans. So some fun fact there.
It's not possible to buy me. You see,
No. Exactly. Okay, we need another striker. Rune, I will be ready.
But you can accept the Fuller one. You're okay.
Okay. Rudy Feller, I can accept. Rudy.
But the second one, Rudy Feller didn't score in the Champions League, but the other one did twice. And not for Werder Bremen.
Yes. Who do you think, Marcus? This is a quiz for you because you're a young kid. Who will be the one? This is
he scored in the Champions League.
He scored in the Champions League final.
German.
Yeah, German. But maybe not for Werder Bremen. But he played there.
Werder Bremen.
But this is tough for you.
It's too tough for me.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's tough. It was for Borussia Dortmund, and he's still ambassador for Dortmund. I was visiting him for 5 years ago or something like that. So we were in Germany and visited this player at his home, and that is Karl-Heinz Riedle.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, he was flying. Rune, you were a tall guy with a fantastic spänst, vad är på engelsk? What's in English?
Like a jump.
Yeah, the jump. His jump. Rune had an unbelievable jump and being so tall. But Karl-Heinz Riedle, he was not tall, but he was flying.
He wasn't. He wasn't a 180, but he was the best player I ever seen in the air. His technique was perfect. But as he could stay there and boom, and he scored. I think twice against Juventus in the Champions League final in Munich.
Yeah,
I was there watching the game.
And then a quiz for you: who made a third?
Lars Rieken.
Yes, chipped the ball 3-1 against Juventus. But Rune, this is a fantastic team, and we will put this team out with our film, and also with the clip, a YouTube clip from Rune's career. But Rune, at the end, we have to ask you: you had Nils Arne Eggen. This is a tough one. Nils Arne Eggen, Otto Rehhagel, and Drillo, and you have to choose one coach, please.
I have to take Nils.
Nils Arne Eggen.
Yes.
Why?
Because Rosenborg is the closest club to my heart. Although my heart is green-white. But he was so important for my club Rosenborg. Without him, we haven't received anything of that all that we have won. So, and he was a genius. What he has done with amateur clubs, it's a wonder. But you see, it's hard to choose between your children.
Yes.
They say. So it's also difficult to choose among your coaches. So I have been really lucky to have those three as coaches. They were all of them were really special and they had something special. So it was a great experience to play under those coaches, and I'm really privileged to have done that.
Brilliant, Rune. I think being able to share this with you guys down memory lane during widely successful career of Rune, namely in this case, has been a really honor for me, because I was able to do research and and for yourself as well. And and I know Dad thinks so highly of you as a player and as a person. So it's been really nice for me to share that with you guys with the Legend Edition.
Yeah, and if I said when we have a legend like Rune, there is always asking what do they do after a career. Rune Bratseth was a very successful manager together with Nils Arne Eggen in the best period of Rosenborg. He was their manager, the head of sport. They took it into Champions League. Unbelievable success with them. And the last years we've been colleague for Viaplay, doing German football, but we're also doing Champions League, and now we're going to do Premier League together and all that kind of thing. So Rune is a truly legend, both on and off the pitch. So Rune, thanks a lot to being part of this edition.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure.
That was our chat with Rune Bratseth, the Norwegian team captain, my roommate, but first and foremost, the Werder Bremen legend, winning everything with them. Have you any memories of Rune Bratseth? Please comment after this video, or push like, or even better, you can subscribe And we'll be back with more news from Germany and also more Bundesliga legends later. Auf Wiedersehen.